Hey guys, I just want to hop on really quick and give you guys a quick, I guess, lesson or solution on how to speed up your SharePoint queries. A lot of times, SharePoint queries are painfully slow, and none of us like a slow query. So let's go ahead and see if I can show you guys how to speed one up. Um, so the way I found to do it was actually from this site right here. It's called HoosierBI.com. This guy wrote out a bunch of M code that allows us to speed up our SharePoint queries. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the query version that he has down here. He put two versions in here, function version, query version. I didn't use the function version, so we're going to talk about the query version. So basically what you would want to do first of all is if we hop back over to our Excel sheet, you would go ahead and say get data, and then I went ahead and I used from SharePoint online list. So jump into there and it would bring up these two options for you. Now you should be fine with that 1.0 version. Just leave it 1.0 and then put in your site URL. So this is where we get into some of the stuff that is kind of important to make this work. Your site URL is going to have basically your base URL, and then generally it will have a little bit of an extension on it. So, for example, if I had a URL that said, we'll just say yahoo.com. You generally have the HTTPS and all that stuff at the beginning of it. But then what you would have is a slash and then something, for example, forms library. So what you've got here is your base URL. We'll go ahead and do this just to make it a little bit clearer. So you've got your base URL, and then you've got your extension of that URL. Now, what this is when we go back over to what he has in here, you see he has a few different things set up. He's got a site name, a list name, and a base URL. Now, I'm going to go ahead and really quickly kind of give you guys a demonstration of how it should work. Unfortunately, I'm on a home network. What that means is I am not able to access an actual SharePoint site because SharePoint sites aren't public. They're specific to the company that is using that SharePoint site. So what you guys would do is you would use this SharePoint online list. I can't actually do that right now. I'm going to use from web, and we'll go ahead and pull this up really quick. Now it has to load a little bit, but it's important to keep in mind that site name and that base URL, because when you go to a place to use your SharePoint query, you're going to need to make sure you have that base name and that base URL and that site name correct. And then what it's going to pull up for you if you were to go in and run that query is a few tables for you. And if we look at what he has here, he has the base URL, the site name, and the list name. Once it pulls up those tables are what we're going to use as the list name. Let's see here, and it is loading quite slowly, which is unfortunate, but we'll go ahead and let it load, and then we'll give a little bit of a demonstration. Okay, so these tables pulled up for us, these are going to be, like I was saying, our list name. So you would find something like table 0, and you would choose that as your list name. And then what you're going to want to do with that is, once you come into the Power Query Editor, you'll go to Advanced Editor. And once you're in Advanced Editor, you're going to delete out all the code that's there, and you're going to go ahead and paste in the code that has been provided for us. Then you'll come back over to Excel and paste that into here. Now he has these first few things, so site name would be our, for example, that HTTPS. Let's see if I can type here. We'll just say yahoo.com. And then our list name, we'll go ahead and leave that as big list. That's a good enough name for us. Obviously, you're going to want to change that to whatever your list name is. Actually, you know what? Just for the sake of changing it, we'll change it to that list that we clicked on, table 0. And oh, I am so sorry. I put this in the wrong place. This is going to be down in our base URL. And then I think the example that we used for the site name was Forms Library. Now, once you have all of those changed, you're going to go ahead and come down to the section where he has items commented out. You'll go ahead and comment out that first one, and you'll uncomment out that second one. And then right here where he has ID, title, person, date, you're going to go ahead and put the names of the columns that you actually want. So you're treating it kind of like a select statement in a SQL query, putting in the names of the columns that you want. You'll leave this commented out, and then you should be good to go. Now I'm going to get an error just because we've put in a bunch of nonsensical information into that code, so it doesn't actually give us the information that we need. But you would get your query back, and then you're actually able to treat it just like a normal query and go through and apply the steps that you want in the manipulation of your data, and then you can close and load, and you'll have a much faster SharePoint query. I hope that was helpful. Feel free to leave a comment. Go ahead, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys later.